Welcome to your April 2018 Love Reading with Divine Love Tarot. And happy birthday, guys. Happy birthday to all my April Aries and my early Tauruses. All right. I hope you guys enjoy your month. I hope if you're in the East, on the East Coast and the Northeast like I am, that we finally get some spring. Can we get some spring up in here? So hopefully you guys enjoy your birthday month. Welcome to my channel. Whether it's your first time or you're returning, I hope you guys enjoy this reading. If you find this reading isn't resonating for you, you may want to check out your sun sign, your moon sign, and sometimes even your Venus sign. All right, guys, depending on your chart and your personality, another planet may be stronger for you. And so sometimes, like I find for myself, my rising sign tends to resonate a lot in my readings, and sometimes my moon. So sometimes if I have specific readers that I like on YouTube, and if the message just isn't hitting me at all, I'll check one of those other signs and usually it'll be on point. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get into your reading. All right, so for the month of April, right now, your current energy, Aries, is the moon in reverse. All right, so there's a little bit of confusion going on. Could be a lot of emotional things happening for you guys right now, or you're not able to process your emotions. Something's happened that's left you off balance. Or things are very unpredictable. So one minute, if you're in a relationship, things might be going great. The next minute you're fighting. It's just a little bit hectic right now. For some of you, there's some type of truth that may be revealed. All right. But right now your intuition might be very, very high key. And so you want to pay attention to the vibes right now. Whatever vibes you're getting from other people in your environment, from the people you're in a relationship with, just listen to your intuition. Okay. Also, for some of you, you might be dealing with a Pisces. Okay. And maybe this Pisces person is not acting as they normally would. All right. Because they're in the reverse. So we move on to what's your challenges or what's crossing that. And we have the Queen of Wands. Okay. This could be a Pisces or an Aries also. So for some, the challenge is to get this person who's acting a little bit erratic right now back to being the cheerful and warm person that they usually are. For others, the challenge is for you to get yourself back to this, okay? Because this can represent Aries also. Your challenge for this month is to get back to a place where you're feeling, yourself again, okay? For others, you may be, very emotional, and you may be challenged by someone who is a Pisces or an Aries, okay? So once again, it's all coming full circle. But, the Queen of Wands is someone who's warm, charming, loving, spontaneous, adventurous, passionate, okay? And these are all things that represent Aries, all things that Aries love in a partner as well. So if you're not feeling yourself, your challenge is to get back to feeling like this. Or if you're dealing with someone in your if you're dealing with someone, this is resonating for people who are dealing with a Pisces or dealing with another Aries, okay? Moving now to your past position, and we've got the Devil. So for some of you, you may be in a relationship that started out as some type of lust situation, okay? Maybe you were extremely attracted, you were uncontrollably attracted to this person, and now, once that attraction wears off a little bit, the emotions may be confused because maybe you guys don't get along the way you thought you would, or, maybe you just don't understand this person emotionally. But the Devil can also indicate that maybe you've come out of a toxic relationship. And so now in your present situation, you're a little bit off balance because you're so used to being in a toxic situation, you're not really sure how to deal, okay? Also, for some of you, you might have dealt with a Capricorn in the past, so that's going to resonate with some of you. But, the Devil represents feeling trapped, or anything that trapped you. Maybe you felt like you were trapped into a relationship and now you're sort of confused. Or, it represents uncontrollable behavior. It represents materialism. It represents toxic habits. So anything that, you've had to kind of overcome, you're coming out of that. So, of course, right now you'd be a little bit confused, right? Going into the future position, we've got the Hangman. So some of you are definitely dealing with a Pisces. Others, it's you not wanting to make a decision, or maybe having a choice between two things. And sometimes the best choice is to not make a choice, right? Not make a decision, just see how things go. So if you are dealing, some of you might be dealing with two people, you might be dealing with two Pisces. Some of you might be dealing with a Pisces and an Aries, who knows? But you may want to have to choose between those two people. And, sometimes people have a way of showing you, where you need to be. For others, this is you being stubborn, okay, being stubborn, wanting a happy ending, and holding out for that happy ending when, even though things all around that isn't pointing in that direction. But sometimes the heart wants what it wants. So when we clarify that, we'll see if you're wasting your time or not over there. It can also indicate being a little bit overly dramatic, right? Just playing the victim. Woe is me. Look at all I've done for you, and this is what I get. That's what can also be indicated by the Hangman in reverse. So now we move on to what you want in this situation. And we have the Page of Swords. So, Aries, you want the truth, okay? You don't want this confusion. You don't want this emotional confusion. You want to communicate. You want the truth. If the person that you're dealing with is the one whose emotions are off balance, you want them to let you know what's going on. You want them to be clear with you about what's happening, because you don't like to be confused, okay? I mean, nobody really likes to be confused, but you guys tend to be a lot more blunt and just direct with your communication. So it's very difficult for you to deal with someone who isn't, okay? And if you are dealing with another Pisces, then yeah, you're going to have to let them know, listen, just communicate with me because I cannot read your mind. Where Pisces tends to, flow with emotions, and they want people to understand how they're feeling, but they're not necessarily always the best at expressing how they're feeling. So that's where you step in, Aries, and say, hey, look, talk to me, let me know what's going on, because I'm having a really hard time trying to figure out what's happening right now, okay? For others, you may want someone who is a little bit more airy and carefree. It represents playfulness. You may want some playfulness in your relationship. But also, you might even want a little bit of conflict. Every now and then, some verbal sparring is kind of good for the soul. For some people, I know for me, I like a little bit of, healthy verbal debate every now and then. It kind of spices things up, keep things lively. And, maybe you want a little bit of that also. For signs, depending on where you look, the Page of Swords can represent Aquarius, but also the cusp of Capricorn. And I don't know how they get Pisces in here in some indications also. So those three signs, if that resonates for you, you will know it. Moving on to your internal factors, and we have the Five of Cups. So internally, you're feeling very remorseful about something. You're feeling regretful. And maybe you're feeling like, if it's your partner that you're dealing with that's very emotional right now, you may feel like you've caused that somehow. But you're focusing on, the negative. You're focused on what was lost. You're not really seeing the bigger picture here. And that's also what this Hangman in reverse is saying. There's two cups here. These are opportunities, but you're focused on the spilled cups right now. So that's disappointment, that's heartbreak, or you might have been going through a heartbreak, especially, like I said, if you were dealing with a toxic situation over here. So your advice for this reading is the King of Wands in reverse. So the King of Wands in reverse is like, even though you're frustrated, you may be frustrated right now, but you have to be willing to accept change, okay? You have to be willing to accept that things change, that people change, and, not necessarily be defensive about it, but just try to be understanding. No one's asking you to change. You don't have to change, okay? Unless it's a change for the better. But sometimes you just have to be a little bit more understanding of others, and that'll lessen your frustration. If you're always expecting people to be as you are or do as you do, you're going to be frustrated when they do something different. So instead of being frustrated that they are different, try to understand the differences and try to understand them for who they are, and you will be a little bit less frustrated, okay? And try not to engage in any arguments or conversations that are just going to further frustrate you. Okay, and sometimes we know if you're looking for the truth and clarity, and if this person is just too emotional to have that kind of conversation, then don't push for that conversation. Give them the time they need to be able to come and speak to you clearly. Because if you have a conversation with someone who's emotionally confused, or if you try to have a conversation, if someone's trying to push you into having a conversation while you're emotionally confused, that can be even more frustrating because it's just going to cause more confusion, right? So we go ahead and we move on to your external factors, and we have the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups can represent someone from your past, okay? Someone from your past might be what's causing some confusion. Maybe this toxic bond, this lusty type of relationship that you had in the past. Maybe that person has come back in, and that's where the confusion's coming in. That's where the choice that you may have to make is coming in. For others, children may be a factor in your love relationship. So you may, have children with one person, but actually have a connection with another person. And that's the choice that you may have to make. And for others, you may feel that the person that you're dealing with is your soulmate. Okay. You may feel like, or they feel like you guys are soulmates. And then others, it's just maybe that person's being a little bit childish right now. Okay. Um, in your hopes or your fears, we have the Three of Cups in reverse. So right now, I think you fear that either, your partner may be cheating. If you're in a three-way situation, you may fear that that situation becomes exposed. Okay. You may also be, afraid of plans falling apart or things falling apart and having to go it alone. All right. And some of you may be hoping for a reunion with someone from your past. Okay. And here goes this past person. And especially if you've had that, if you haven't let go of this toxic devil relationship, you're still lusting after this person and you're hoping that, you have some type of reunion with them. Well, the outcome, though, for this reading is the Nine of Swords. So that is confusion, worry, okay? And that's you. That's something that's going on within you. It may not even be caused by something. So whatever you're doing, whatever you're stressing about, okay, you're stressing yourself out. You're worrying. You're having anxiety over this relationship. You're suffering from depression. You have doubts. You have a severe fear of getting hurt, okay? These are all things that you're internalizing. And, once again, if there's something that's causing you this much anguish, right? The truth definitely needs to come out. You want the truth, and the truth is here in the moon in the reverse, okay? So somehow you're going to have to find a way to communicate the truth in order to clear things up because you're really suffering right now. You've got the Five of Cups internally, you've got the Nine of Swords as your outcome. You're fearing the worst. It's like right now, Aries, your mind, even though you're struggling, you really, really, really want to get back to being just your warm, cheerful, and loving self. But there's something that has happened or that's happening to cause you to be emotionally confused, worried, depressed, fearful of the future. All right, so a little bit of honesty will go a long way in certain situations. All right, guys. So that is the reading. From here now, I'm going to do the extended where I'm going to pull clarifiers to see what's going on. So if you're interested, check out the eye icon at the top of your screen and it'll tell you how to access or how to purchase the extended reading. And if you want a personalized reading, there's also a link that'll help you get to my website where you can purchase the reading with me. All right, guys. I hope, like I said, I hope you guys enjoy your birthday month. All right, try to have those, conversations and clear the air, get your emotions, whatever you're trying to hide, whatever secrets, they look like they're coming out. And, it's astrologically, Jupiter has been in Scorpio and there's been a lot of things that are coming out and being exposed. So sometimes it's not even about you having the conversation. It's about you preparing to have the conversation and telling the truth versus, trying to hide more secrets because they're coming out anyway. All right, guys? So I hope that resonated. Like I said, if not, check out your other signs and I will see you at the next reading. Bye, Aries.